Well, Soccer Unlimited, your total soccer store. We got some big news coming out of the Premier League today, as the champions Chelsea, who were the champions 2 years ago, could again be the champions this year with a win today. And I wanted to pose this question to you guys: with the lack of a postseason in soccer, especially in the Premier League, how are you guys with no postseason in a professional sport?
I'm not okay with it at all. No postseason is absolutely absurd to me. I love the playoffs. Like, that's when you showcase the best of the best. That's when it's do or die. Legends are born in playoff. One more thing I just don't understand about the world of soccer.
I'm so confused by this. So there's no postseason. The only time maybe there shouldn't be a postseason is if you're playing in a fantasy league, like a fantasy baseball league or a football league or a basketball league, and you say, we're not going to have a postseason. Whoever scores the most points or whoever has the most wins at the end of the year wins the big prize. Because if you go to the postseason and this stuff, it comes down to 1 week of the season rather than a whole 3-month period, so you want to reward the best. I would get that if you're doing a league like that. But when we're talking about real competition and you want to sell tickets and you want to get a fan base energized about the end of the year, that's just a good business move to have a postseason.
Yeah, let me ask you, Woods. What is the benefit of not having a postseason as a soccer fan?
Well, there's a couple different ways to go about this. First off, without a postseason, I don't like the fact of not having a postseason in any sport. But in this case, it's different. Soccer, the way it works basically is you win a game, you get 3 points. You draw a game, you get 1 point. And you lose, you get 0 points. So you're basically finding what team is the best over that entire season. You're going to find out what team is the cream of the crop by the end of the season. So maybe that's the kind of the way. I mean, that's a lot of the ways that soccer fans kind of look at it. That they're going to find out which team is the best that season. And like sometimes in the playoffs we have upsets. This is one way to kind of, I guess, avoid an upset. But, yeah, I mean, it's really the only way you can determine what team is the best.
Can you believe, all right, imagine this. No NBA postseason. Like LeBron doesn't even play during the regular season. I guess it makes every regular season game that much more important. So I understand the thinking, but I like here's our winner, here's the top of the top. They won every Sunday they were supposed to win, then a couple Saturdays during the postseason as well. I like postseason.
Yeah, that plus the overall league, it helps. Think back to baseball, because really the closest thing that we can compare to this, Woods, is the old time in baseball before the wild card. You had teams winning the pennant. So you had a division winner from the American League taking on the other division winner in the CS, the Championship Series, same side for the other side, and then they play in the World Series. It's not that exciting for the teams who are sitting in 4th, 5th, and 6th. If you're a fan base and you're watching your team 11 games back of first place and it's August, why are you going to the games? The season's over. You don't have anything to go to. So, right, and maybe it helps that top tier of it. Like college football didn't. Let's be honest. College football didn't have a playoff. College football for a really long time, until the last few seasons, we had this.
But they still had a postseason. They had the bowls.
They had the bowls, right? But they had one national championship game, and by the way, that took years before that was. They had this mythical number one, and they had people vote on that. It's helped college football having a playoff. It's helped baseball expand to the wild card. I can't really see how this is helping the sport when I have examples of how it didn't help other sports.
Another thing I wanted to kind of throw at you guys is I mentioned the format in which the league is structured, that where you get 3 wins for a win, 1 for a draw, and 0 for a loss. Now, do you think that this format could work in an American sport? I prefer something like this. If it can work, it can work in Major League Baseball, where we, instead of having those 13, 14, 15, 18-inning games, we play a maximum of 12 per se, and if you do not win after 12, you get 1 point, and that point carries over. And so maybe a point system could work in an American sport. What do you guys think?
No, I mean, they just took it out of hockey. You know what I mean? Like, even hockey, it couldn't work for hockey. Hockey heads are crazy. Mm-hmm. I for one, I agree with Buster only. Look, man, 18-inning games is part of the game. I remember growing up, I can't even remember I don't remember how old I was, but it was like a 22-inning game between the Yankees and the Tigers, and it was awesome because they played all day. We were outside playing, listening to the game all day long. Sooner or later, one of the managers, one of the players is going to make a mistake. One of the benches isn't as deep as the other bench. One of the whatever it is, but that's just part of the game, and like I like it. I think, you know. Is it tough on you because you can't stay up late enough to watch them sometimes? Do you expect the team to, you know, have kind of a hangover the next day? Sure, but win the game. Just win the game.
Right, and who would we be making the rule for? Non-baseball fans? If baseball fans are watching baseball games, and Levank, you touched on this, you're a baseball fan, so am I, and I came to the game to watch baseball, why would you want that to end? Let's remember sports is a form of entertainment. This is like you go to a movie, and the movie's really long, and for some reason the director says, you know what? Movie's kind of going long here. Let's just stop the movie.
Yeah, right. No resolution.
There's no resolution.
No resolution.
But we're just going to stop the movie because it's gone too long. No.
It
Like,
just
what?
cuts, like Avengers just cuts to I don't know, James Gunn or whoever, and it's like, hey, so we got to the 90-minute mark, so we're just going to stop here. Just so you know, Captain America dies, and Iron Man's the hero. See you guys later. Hope you'll watch the next one.
Yeah, and why did I got a question. Why did you stop the movie? Well, other people who didn't want to go to the movie thought it had gone too long. Wait, what? That makes no sense.
Like
that's
Revenant.
what it would be.
Like Revenant. Yeah, the Bears about to really mess up Leo, but hey, we're at 90 minutes, so I'm sorry you guys don't like him. It's cool. We'll see you at the Oscars.
That audience there that loved The Incredibles, they didn't like this, so we had to stop it.
Yeah, it turns out we have to program to the lowest common denominator.
When you think about it like that, which is the closest comparison I can have, it makes no sense. But somehow in baseball, people want that to happen. Okay.
I mean,
thanks for ruining that, Woods.
I will add this though.
James Cameron.
In the U.S., though, the MLS does have a playoff, so I mean, at least soccer in one country kind of has it together a little bit. Right?
Look at the United States getting it right again.
USA. USA. USA.
All right, in other news. In other news, Real Madrid and Juventus will meet in the Champions League final. Both teams took care of, Real took care of Atletico Madrid, Juventus took care of Monaco, so those teams will meet to see what team is the best in Europe. Probably going to be, this game will be on June 3rd, so we've got a while to kind of get ready for this one, but that's basically your big game to look forward to in the next few months, with a lot of the leagues coming to an end and with a lot of the point totals being very far apart. I mean, a lot of the eventual champions are already there, so that's the next big game to look forward to.
Woods, do you remember that? Woods, Woodsy, I always remember that amazing game between Juventus and Who Farted. It was one of the most stellar. That's not. No,
those
aren't. Not the same.
No, those aren't teams.
Well, Juventus is. I just assumed Who Farted would be as well.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, everybody's a loser when Who Farted plays. Woodsy, who do we have to thank for Pitch Perfect?
If they're still around.
It's all from Soccer Unlimited. They are your total soccer store, and end of the season's coming around. So, and we got a new season for spring season for youth starting up now. So basically, go out there and get all your stuff that you need. And Soccer Unlimited is your total soccer store, and that's the place to go and get your stuff.
There's no tie about that, my friends. They are the champions over at Soccer Unlimited.